On a flattened patch of hillside, she begins with beams set low against the ground. This is not a house meant for people, but a place that must be strong before it can be anything else. The first timbers settle onto the dry, red earth, and a new kind of order begins to appear. From the opening moments, the film makes it clear that this structure is meant for animal keeping, for weight and durability, not for a romantic image in the forest. From those low beams, the floor begins to come together one plank at a time. The work here is direct heavy, and almost completely stripped of wasted movement. The small woman bends over thick boards, fastening them into the surface that can carry real weight. This may be the least glamorous section of the film, but it is also the one that decides everything. In a pen like this, the base must hold before the walls can rise. After the floor come the low, solid wooden walls. One plank after another is lifted into place, joined tightly to form thick, durable sides. This is where the enclosure begins to look real. It is no longer loose material spread across the ground, but a contained space with a front, a back, and two strong sides. She is not building it to feel light, but to withstand movement and impact. That firmness gives the film its own tone, raw, practical, and uninterested in pleasing the eye first. The front of the pen is refined last in this first major stage of the build. A doorway appears, and from that moment the structure stops being only a sealed wooden box. It now has controlled entry, a clearer front face, and the true posture of an animal enclosure. By this point, the viewer understands that she is not making a temporary barrier, but something intended for more serious, lasting use. And still the film is not finished with it yet. Once the low wooden pen is taking shape, she leaves it behind to gather what it still lacks height and cover. In the forest, long trunks are cut, then dragged back to the site by hand. This is an important turning point in the film. It tells the viewer that the enclosure will not stop at being a closed wooden box, but is about to become a more complete, covered space. The moment those long poles appear, it becomes clear that the structure is moving into another scale. The tall posts rise next, straight and solid, far higher than the pen below. At this point, the scale of the structure changes dramatically. The lower section still carries the duty of enclosure, while the taller frame above opens the possibility of full cover. This is one of the strongest retention sections in the video, because the viewer can see the build truly expanding. It is no longer only becoming more enclosed, but also gaining the height needed for a broad roof. What began as a pen is moving closer to the shape of a small livestock shelter. Once the tall frame is in place, the film slows down again to prepare the bamboo roof. Large bamboo poles lie across the earth, then are cut split and shaped for their final use. This work may not be explosive on screen, but it is crucial to the rhythm of the build. These bamboo pieces will decide whether the pen below becomes properly covered and usable. That is why the second half of the video feels like a structure slowly being given shade. Once the bamboo is lifted into place, the roof finally begins to reveal itself. Pole after pole settles in lines above, covering the space the tall posts had been holding open. The wooden pen below suddenly gains a sky of its own. This is where the build stops feeling like separate parts and begins to read as a more complete livestock shelter. The viewer is no longer looking only at a pen, but at a place protected enough for real animal keeping. That is the biggest reward of the second half of the film. The ending does not arrive through one small detail, but through the final totality of the build. The low wooden pen, the front gate, the tall posts and the wide bamboo roof stand together on the hillside as a system that has found its place. The small woman moves around it no longer, like someone who has merely finished a stack of timber, but like someone who has opened another living function on her land. Even if the film does not fully show the long life of the livestock yet, it still makes one thing clear: this place has been prepared to receive new life.